Hey y'all, I'm back. I'm gonna talk about now being a full-time caregiver while working. I wanted to actually do this video with my dad, like a day in a life, of me taking care of him, but unfortunately he did pass away before I was able to do that. Uh, what it's like being a full-time caregiver and working a job and trying to take care of yourself as well as taking care of a sick person. Only thing I can say is just it's really hard, um, especially depending on the illness. My dad suffered with heart disease, kidney disease, and actual liver disease. Um, so my job was really understanding. I was on FMLA, and so my struggles, a lot of times he began to have a lot of doctor's appointments that I had to take off and take him to, um, and having to transport him there and moving him from his home, and he had to stay with his sister. So his doctor's appointments were still a little far away from where he was staying, and then just also transporting him back and forth to dialysis 3 times a week. First, it takes a person that's mentally strong to do this, because you're actually watching your loved one like deteriorate basically in front of your eyes. My dad was a very strong person, strong will, strong mind. Just even with his sickness, he still tried to do for himself. But unfortunately, some things he couldn't do, as far as, sometimes he didn't, wasn't able to give himself a good bath. And that's when I would have to step in and actually bathe him. He began to develop wounds on his legs, and I would have to bandage those and clean those. And he had broke his hip, so he needed help. He was on a walker, but he still needed help getting in and out of the car. um it's hard because you're doing things that you never had to do before, and you never thought that you would have to do. As a woman, I didn't think that I would have to, end up bathing my dad, but I mean, I did. I got through it because I just loved him, and I didn't want him to just be out there, like, not, having hygiene problems or anything like that. um Also being the person responsible, keeping track with their doctor's appointments, and and where they need to be by certain times. It was, sometimes it was hard. It was because actually, you would forget, because he had so many, like I said, so many appointments, and even on other side of town going to specialists. And sometimes I was late or either early, or one time I was a day before, and I'm like, oh Lord, I took off my job, now I gotta, um I do. My sister would help me, but she has, her young kids. And when I say I don't have didn't have any help, I mean like help as far as, um we have, it's not like her, it wasn't her grandfather. Yes, she did everything that I asked, and I appreciate it, and I knew she would do it, but it was ultimately my responsibility, to do it. Yes, she would help me out, and but mostly everything fell on me. Even not even with just doctor's appointments, he was living somewhere else, so I had to still go and maintain his house where he lived, and check on his house and make sure everything, grass is cut, bills are paid over there, with my bills being paid. And just it's just, you can forget, because you're human, you error. And so I sometimes things got, behind, and not because it was financially. It's just, you just have so much going on. Far as going places or really hanging out, I have a good group of friends and family who knew that there's a lot of things that I couldn't attend, or if I did go somewhere, it would have to be on the side of town where he was at. um, and that takes a toll on you emotionally and spiritually. Emotionally, because you're in your flesh and you're thinking God is, it's just nobody to just help me, and that breaks you down. And then you don't want to let the person know that you feeling this way, spiritually, because you think of like, God is putting all this on me, like I'm just one person. And it messes with you mentally. It actually could even drive you to like maybe drinking or drugs or whatever, because there's no real outlet. And I know with me, anything that I wanted to do or anything I felt like maybe go something as simple as get my nails done, I felt guilty because I'm like, what if something happens to him and I'm not there? That was my whole thing. What if something happens to him and I'm not there? I'm over here getting my nails done and then he have an accident or something like that. That's what I kind of dealt with a lot. Um, and also, he began to fall a lot, because of his balance was off. And I was physically able, he was 6'1", and at the time that he passed away he was only 150 pounds. So he lost a lot of weight. So I was able to actually pick him up. He would fall. He lived with my aunt, and I would go over and pick him up and put him back, place him on the couch. It was just like like a child. Also with eating, I just he just bought him all types of food, bought him, insured drinks, all, I mean, just stuff to try to, um, got him supplements to try to boost his appetite. Just had no appetite. Um, just couldn't eat. Just wouldn't. Just would bear. I mean, maybe even eat. I was fixing him maybe like a little, maybe portion of a 3 or 4 year old, and he still wouldn't even finish the food because he was sick. His, as I know now, his organs were shutting down, and I didn't know, so I became frustrated. You become frustrated a lot. I became frustrated because it's like I thought he just didn't want it. He just didn't want to try, but he just couldn't. Um, as a caregiver, you have to take time for yourself. You just have to, even if it's something like a warm bath, reading a book, um, maybe spending time with a friend. See if somebody can, watch her, if you have that option. If a friend even asks, maybe that's something that you can look into just to relax your mind. Doing some type of yoga. And then the next time I'll talk about seeking therapy, because I did go to therapy, but then that was a conflict because I found a therapist on the weekend, but I kept him basically on the weekend for my aunt while she did things. So taking care of yourself, you have to take care of yourself as a caregiver, because then you won't have anything to give to the person because you're just so worn out and so worn down. And that's what was happening to me. You could just see it in my I began to, get sick. And I really couldn't afford to get sick, because then if I got sick, who would take care of him? I just really wish that I might drop a video I have of him, just with me walking with him on the walker. I just really wish I could have. Everything just happened so fast, when he ended up, ultimately passing away, and then you could have just saw, what it was like for me to, care for him on almost like a daily basis. Um, just, I mean, from everything, from like dressing to, like getting, he wore dentures to put his teeth in. Like I just felt like I was a nurse, and even in the hospital, when he would go to the hospital, I would still help. They would be, surprised. You know, I was already doing it at home, so it was no need to wait on anybody to come. I ring the buzzer for the nurse to come. They would take a little time. So shoot, I just would start and just, changing up stuff and cleaning stuff and getting into the bathroom. And they were like, "Oh, what happened?" Well, you just have to do. You just become strong, and you just become a I don't know, you just get like a lot, you just become equipped, you just do it. I did everything out of love, because I loved him a lot. I didn't want him to have to, suffer, especially around me, or wait on anything, because he was already sick. Um, just take care of yourself. Do what you need to take care of yourself, as a caregiver. Most definitely seek help. Seek professional help. I do these videos. I've been, doing the videos, and I'll keep doing them. But I am seeking professional help. Not basically a grief counselor. Just somebody just to talk to, other than a friend of just somebody. Who don't really know the situation, other than a friend, a family member, just somebody who can give a kind of different opinion on things. Just don't let it just don't let things get bottled up on the inside, because you know then you're no good for the person, because you're affected. So that's it for now. Basically, I'll just the next video, maybe I'll talk about therapy. In the next maybe video, I'll go into what it's like to when I was told that he wouldn't survive. That maybe I'll do that a little later, because it's still kind of hard. Okay, thanks.